All right, shalom, shalom, boys here. Well, been extremely busy, but it's amazing to see what's going on in its world. It's amazing to see uh, the level of treachery, lies, deceit that we have, betrayal that we have going on in this country. And we're going to talk about, our illustrious president, Donald Trump, the straight shooter Trump, the man that got up and deceived the whole world and believe into believing that uh, he was going to make the lives of people much, much better. He was going to make the lives of Americans much, much better. That he was going to deal with inflation. That he was going to solve all your problems. And, come to find, when we look at what he's doing the exact opposite. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with, some videos uh, of what he's been talking about. And we're going to be dealing with anything from jobs to housing to healthcare and inflation. But what I want to do is go into what he was talking about 4 years ago. 4 years ago. This is Donald Trump. Uh, 4 years ago. No, this was 4 years ago when he got out of office the first time. So let's see what he was talking about and the broken promises that he did. Now this is during his four. This is before Biden. Let's go.
Number one, he said the coronavirus would go away without a vaccine. You bought it, but he didn't. While other countries got the pandemic under control and avoided large numbers of fatalities, the virus has killed more than 170,000 Americans, and that number is still climbing. Number two, he said he won't have time to play golf if elected president, but he's made more than 250 visits to his golf club since he took office, a record for any president, including more trips during the pandemic than meetings with Dr. Fauci. The total financial cost to America, more than $136 million.
Now you remember, this is the same guy that was talking about Operation Warp Speed. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Operation Warp Speed to get these viruses out. And now what we're seeing is these viruses or these vaccines that are literally killing people today. And it's being come out now that uh, uh, the virus ain't killing people; it's the vaccines that are killing people now. But let's go and continue to hear what our illustrious President Trump said. That this is 4 years ago. We're not even into today.
Number three, he said he would repeal the Affordable Care Act and replace it with something
beautiful. So we're going to do repeal and replace. Very complicated stuff.
It didn't happen. Instead, 7 million Americans have lost their health insurance since he took office.
Now, again, this is 4 years ago. This was years ago when he said that he was going to do all of this stuff. See? And what is happening with this big, beautiful bill? See, you got to understand, you have to go back and you have to pay attention to what these people said in the past, the promises that they said in the past, the statements that they said in the past. Because see, now we live in a world where, and we're gonna move this forward where people don't want to be held accountable for the promises that they made because they get in the office, they get on the campaign trail, and they tell you everything that you want to hear, and then when they get in the office, you can't do nothing about it, and they go and screw the American people. Let's go.
He's asked the Supreme Court to strike down the law in the middle of a global pandemic with no plan to replace it. Number four, he said he'd cut your taxes and that the super rich like him would pay more. He did the opposite. By 2027, the richest 1% will have received 83% of the Trump tax cut.
And he's just extended those tax cuts for the rich.
and the richest 0.1%, 60% of it. But more than half of all Americans will pay more in taxes. Number 5, he said corporations would use their tax cuts to invest in American workers. They didn't. Corporations spent more of their tax savings buying back shares of their own stock than increasing workers' wages. Number 6, he said he would boost economic growth by 4% a year. Nope. The economy stalled. Unemployment has soared to the highest level since the Great Depression.
Now, you think it's gotten worse or better since he's gotten in the office?
Just over half of working age Americans are employed, the worst ratio in 70 years. Number 7, he said,
I'm not going to cut Social Security like every other Republican, and I'm not going to cut Medicare or Medicaid.
His latest budget includes billions in cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
Now, again, this was 4 years ago. This is not even including the big, beautiful bill that he's gone ahead and implemented since then.
Number 8, he promised to be the voice of American workers.
I am your voice.
He hasn't. His administration has stripped workers of their rights, repealed overtime protections, rolled back workplace safety rules, and turned a blind eye to employers who steal their workers' wages. Number 9, he promised that the average American family would see a $4,000 pay raise because of his tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations, but nothing trickled down.
Yeah, the only thing that trickled down was inflation. Your cost of borrowing is going up. Your cost of living, your rent is going up. Food is going. Everything is going up, but because of all of this money printing that he's done, and in his new big beautiful bill, we talking about 3.4 to $4 trillion increase to the national deficit. These people are a joke. All they're going to do is print more money.
Wages for most Americans have barely kept up with inflation. Number 10, he promised that anyone who wants a test for COVID will get one. But countless Americans still can't get a test for COVID.
It's been proven that COVID lies, all lies.
Number 11, he said hydroxychloroquine protects against coronavirus. It doesn't. The FDA revoked its emergency authorization due to the drug's potentially lethal side effects. Number 12, he promised to eliminate the federal deficit. He has increased the federal deficit by more than 60%.
Did he not?
Number 13, he said he would hire only the best people. He has fired a record number of his own cabinet and White House picks, and then called them wackos, dumb as a rock, and not mentally qualified. 6 of them have been charged with crimes. Number 14, he promised to bring down the price of prescription drugs and said,
Our drug industry has been disastrous. They're getting away with murder.
They still are. Drug prices have soared, and the company that got federal funds to develop a drug to treat coronavirus is charging $3,000 a pop. Number 15, he promised to revive the struggling coal industry and bring back lost coal mining jobs. The coal industry has continued to lose jobs as clean energy becomes cheaper. Number 16, he promised to help American workers during the pandemic.
All promises,
but 80% of the tax benefits in the coronavirus stimulus package have gone to millionaires and billionaires. And at least 21 million Americans have lost extra unemployment benefits with no new stimulus check to fall back on. Number 17, he said he'd drain the swamp. Instead, he's brought into his administration more billionaires, CEOs, and Wall Street moguls than in any administration in history. He's filled departments and agencies with former lobbyists, lawyers, and consultants who are crafting
all crooks, lies, and thieves. He hasn't done anything in terms of draining those swamp. He's packed his administration now. This was 4 years ago. He's now packed his administration with a whole bunch of pimps, lies, and thieves and billionaires now.
New policies for the same industries they used to work for. Number 18, he promised to protect Americans with pre-existing conditions.
Pre-existing conditions are in the bill, and I mandated. I said it has to be.
His Justice Department is trying to repeal the entire Affordable Care Act, including protections for people with pre-existing conditions. Number 19, he said Mexico would pay for his border wall. The wall is estimated to cost American taxpayers $11 billion. Number 20.
And what did Trump and what did Biden do? Letting all these people. Now you got a fiasco at the border. You've heard what they're doing at the border. They're creating buffer zones and military buffer zones on American soil. It's crazy. You look at all of this stuff that he's doing. He's militarizing the border, and not only the border, but miles into the border, he's militarizing.
He promised to bring peace to the Middle East. Instead, tensions have increased, and his so-called peace plan was dead on arrival. 21. He promised to lock up Hillary Clinton for using a private email server. He didn't.
And then we go on to Epstein, but we're going to get into that in a second.
Funny enough, Trump uses his personal cell phone for official business, and several members of his own administration, including Jared Kushner and Ivanka, have used private email in the White House. Number 22, he promised to use his business experience to whip the federal government into shape. He hasn't. His White House is in permanent chaos. He caused the longest government shutdown in our nation's history when he...
Are we not in chaos today?
Didn't get funding for his wall. Number 23, he promised to end DACA. The Supreme Court ruled that his plan to deport 700,000 young immigrants was unconstitutional, and DACA still stands. Number 20.
Now, he is doing that, but it's amazing. How is it that he wasn't able to do it before, but now he's going to be able to do it now?
24, he promised 6 weeks of paid maternity leave
to any mother with a newborn child whose employer does not provide the benefit.
He hasn't delivered. Number 25, he promised to bring an end to Kim Jong-un's nuclear program. Kim is expanding North Korea's nuclear program. Number 26, he said he would distance himself from his businesses while in office. He continues to make money from his properties and maintain his grip on his real estate empire. Number 27, he said he'd force companies to keep jobs in America.
There will be a major border tax on these companies that are leaving.
Since he took office, companies like GE, Carrier, Ford, and Harley-Davidson have continued to outsource thousands of jobs while still receiving massive tax breaks. And offshoring by federal contractors has increased. Number 28, he promised to end the opioid crisis.
You got to understand something. When these people promise all types of extravagant utopias for you, it's nothing but to draw you in. But they can't deliver for you. See, the only person that's responsible for you is you. No one else is responsible for you. So if you ever hear somebody offering you paradise here on earth, it's a shame. It really is sad, but this is what these people do.
Americans are now more likely to die from an opioid overdose than a car accident. Number 29, he said he'd release his tax returns. It's been nearly 4 years. He has not released his tax returns. Number 30, he promised to tear up the Iran nuclear deal and renegotiate a better one. Negotiations have gone nowhere, and he brought us to the brink of war.
Again, now this was 4 years ago. This video was made 4 years ago, but now what we got here, we got him bombing the hell out of Iran. Israel is bombing the hell out of Iran, killing innocent women and children. They done flattened Gaza, and people supporting this man, a pathological liar. This his own words, his own promises.
Number 31, he promised to enact term limits for all members of Congress. He's not even tried to enact term limits. Number 32, he promised that China would pay for tariffs on imported goods. His trade war has cost U.S. consumers $34 billion a year, eliminated 300,000 American jobs, and cost American taxpayers $22 billion in subsidies for farmers hurt by the tariffs.
Again, this was 4 years ago. This is during his first term as president of the United States of America. Your president, not mine. But let's go.
Number 33, he promised to push colleges to cut the skyrocketing costs of tuition. Instead, he's made it easier for for-profit colleges to defraud students, and tuition is still rising. Number 34, he promised to protect American steel jobs. The steel industry continues to lose jobs. Number 35, he promised tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations would spur economic growth and pay for themselves. His tax cuts will add $2 trillion to the federal deficit.
Now, again, this was 4 years ago. Now, the big, beautiful bill that he's cut now in his second term as president of the United States of America is going to balloon the deficit over from between 3.5 and $4 trillion.
Number 36, after pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord, he said he'd negotiate a better deal on the environment. He hasn't attempted to negotiate any deal. Number 37, he promised that the many women who accused him of sexual misconduct, quote, will be sued after the election is over. He hasn't sued them, presumably because he doesn't want the truth to come out. Number 38, he promised to bring back all troops from Afghanistan. He now says we'll always have somebody there. Number 39, he pledged to put America first. Instead, he's deferred to dictators and authoritarians at America's expense and ostracized our allies who now laugh at us behind our back. Number 40, he promised to be the voice of the common people. He's made his rich friends richer, increased the political power of big corporations and the wealthy, and harmed working Americans.
Now, again, this was 4 years ago. This is during his first term. He promised all of this stuff. Now, you as the average American, now we're gonna go and we're gonna see what he's doing now to the average American right now. We've heard of all of these layoffs that's been taking place. And it's pretty sad because people out there, they're just hurting so bad. Folks losing their jobs. And there's no end in sight. But this is for white collar workers.
All right, this is Uncle Mooch. I see a lot of posts going around about major layoffs in 2025. Microsoft cut 9,000. We have a lot more companies, so a lot of companies are reducing their workforce in 2025. So Microsoft.
Well, we just.
So I'm getting.
But you got all these people that's getting laid off. Let me put that. Okay.
All right, this is Uncle Mooch. I see a lot of posts going around about major layoffs in 2025. Microsoft cut 9,000. We have a lot more companies, so a lot of companies are reducing their workforce in 2025. So Microsoft, they cut 9,000. TikTok cut jobs in the U.S. e-commerce. Bumble reduced their workforce by 30%. Intel cut 54 in Forsum. Raytheon cut 142 jobs. Salesforce cut 700 jobs. Amazon laid off staff.
Now, I know Salesforce because I used to work in the HR industry. And let me tell you, man, for those people to lay, these are people that I used to work with. Implementation consultants, project managers, HR specialists, people that like that implement these software systems in the HR space. And all of these people are getting laid off. And I'm speaking to people on LinkedIn, people that I used to work with. They're losing their job at an unprecedented rate because I'm just calling them like, hey, man, you know, what's going on? Hey, Ceridian laying off, ADP laying off, Salesforce is laying off, LinkedIn is laying off because now the white collar jobs is going.
In their book division. A lot of companies are restructuring because of economic
See, they don't need
All right, this is Uncle Mooch.
anymore.
Hardship, and with the AI technology getting better and better, a lot of companies are going that route. AI doesn't sleep, it doesn't take days off, it doesn't do any of that stuff, and it doesn't ask for raises. But
They don't need
definitely
more
stay
and more.
strong out there, and let's just keep moving forward. You know, don't look back, keep moving forward, and things will get better. All right, this is Uncle.
No, that's one thing. I'm sorry, but no, things ain't getting better. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie right there.
Beautiful people. Grand rising. Beautiful sunset. Huh? It's tough.
Thanks, Supreme Court. We love you. Not. So, SCOTUS basically has given this regime the green light to continue with federal mass layoffs. Ultimately, is what they're ruling, from what I understand. If I'm wrong, I'm open to being wrong. But come with facts. Basically, a lower court judge had blocked the layoffs, and now SCOTUS has lifted that block, is how I understand it. Thanks.
All these people, right? There was a time where if you got a corporate job, a federal job, working for the federal government or state or city government, there was a time where you can get a job, right? And you can work there for 20, 30 years, and you can retire for with a nice pension, and you can go on and live your life. Uh, but we're coming to find now in this day and age that not even corporate jobs, not even federal jobs, state jobs, uh, are safe anymore. So what are all of these people going to do? Because it ain't like there's going to be jobs in the corporate sector, because all of these jobs are being replaced by AI. So what are all of these people going to do? And Shalom, my brother. What are all of these people going to do uh, if they can't get a federal job, they can't get a state job, and they can as well, they can no longer get a federal job and the corporate job? Where are these people going to go? What kind of skills do these people have to go into the real world now, because they can't ride a federal job for 20 years and get a pension? What are these people going to do? How are these people going to survive? See, we're going into a major transition into this country. And a lot of people, they're just not prepared for what is taking place. And people are seeing this. See, people are seeing with this big, beautiful bill, what's happening is that, all of these benefits are going to get cut. All of these people that rely on the federal government for jobs, benefits, EBT, especially Hebrews, especially black folk, depending on these jobs. And hey, now you got no health care. And now you can't go to the doctor, you know what I'm saying, to get Medicare, Medicaid, anything like that, because those jobs that's going to be cut. EBT is going to be cut. There's a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, that's been on or have been on or on these government benefits, and now that they're being cut, because see, nobody's responsible for putting food on your plate. No one is responsible for putting a roof over your head. What are you going to do when the Section 8 is cut? See, I keep on telling you people, and I've been saying it for years. You depending on somebody else to put a roof over your head, food in your belly, clothes on your back, you finished. Because at any time, they can cut whatever benefits that they're giving you. And at that point in time, you have no legal recourse, whatever. You can't do anything. You're out on the street, you're destitute, you and your wife and your children are destitute, and then you on GoFundMe, begging for bread. It's pretty sad, because people didn't understand the simple concept of you are responsible for providing for yourself, not the government, not any government anywhere, not any state, local government, federal government, not any charity or foundation or anything. No one's responsible. We're getting to the point in time where everybody's saying, listen here, we're not responsible for you, but you're going to pay your taxes though. Oh, you're going to pay your taxes. This is how we are rolling today. You know, we have story after story after story. Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
This is your reminder to be thankful that you have a job. Okay.
This is one of the most foolish statements I've ever heard in my entire life. But let's listen to her.
I'm going to say that again because all over TikTok, I'm seeing people are getting laid off left and right. If you still have your job today at 6 o'clock p.m., you didn't get no notice that you were fired and no severance, be fucking thankful you got a job. Okay. 2025 is real scary. Okay. I'm scared for myself and for a lot of people. Right now we are at a state where you don't know if you're gonna make it to next week. If you don't have any savings and you have a job right now, start saving because you just never know. Start getting them canned goods in your house. Start putting money for any day. Start saving your money. Don't spend money. No shopping. Don't spend any money because right now times are.
I just got let go from my job as part of.
Let it all go. All right, I've got some layoff news for a rather well-known large company in a red state, North Carolina, Wells Fargo. 191 employees to be laid off, specifically in the town of the Winston-Salem branch. Yes, North Carolina is a red state, and they voted against their own best interest. Unfortunately, this is another FAFO for another red state doing layoffs. 191 people will be losing their job. Wells Fargo. For all information regarding possible layoffs, please use the website warntracker.com. Dropping it here. Also, just in June, 160 companies were planned to lay off thousands of employees. Unfortunately, I do believe that it is going to be much larger in July. Please get your finances in order. Written budget.
You know, and a lot of people, you know, how are you going to get your finances in order if you're living paycheck to paycheck? If the cost of food, the cost of insurance, all of these costs are continuing to go up, how do you go about doing it? You see? And so this system is designed to enslave you. It's designed to literally crush you. And this is what's taking place today, you know. But hey, we've been saying this for many years. Since I've woken up to the knowledge of the truth, we've been saying this for many years to make sure that you're not dependent on these people. Because see, when you're dependent on somebody for your livelihood and they cut it off just like that, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? This is what I say: real skills, baby. Real skills. Making sure that you can get out there and provide for yourself and your family. I can go on and on and on with this stuff, but these people are getting laid off, left, and right. Let's go and see what this man is saying.
Are happening lately. Tech, finance, retail, no industry is safe right now. I talk to people every day who thought that their job was secure until they got that dreaded email, meeting invite, or God forbid, they got let go on a group Zoom meeting. No warning, no plan, just.
That's how they lay you off now. in the past, I've been laid off for the group layoff where they laid off the entire damn department, said we don't need you anymore. And see, this is why I understood when I first got when I got my first job, I had mentors that told me, listen here, that was a commissioner for the Department of Youth Service. You can look him up now, Alfred B. Curtis Jr. He told me you can't depend on these jobs. You can't depend on anybody. You better get in there, learn what you need to learn. But eventually, this is when I was told at 16 years old. I was told this. I was told this. These people, they don't care about you.
Just gone. Income gone, lifestyle gone, in some cases, dignity gone. That's why I believe in always having a plan B, because depending on one source of income, especially one that someone else controls, is a dangerous game in 2025.
Depending on anybody else for your livelihood in this day and age is a dangerous game.
Now, if you don't know me, my name's Steve. I've been helping people with their plan B since 2012 when I started an online business that pays 100% commission and runs 24/7, even while I sleep. I didn't need any tech skills, a product, or a social media following. Just a phone, Wi-Fi, and a step-by-step plan. The business I recommend to you now is almost identical, but much better and made for 2025 and beyond. Now, I'm not saying quit your job today, but why not build something on the side that gives you options? Layoffs may not be your fault, but
and see, the idea is also is that you got people out there, and they're saying that they have an idea, they have a solution. I'm not saying not look at something or review something, and see what somebody's talking about, but you got to understand that we live in the age of desperation. And this is where all of these scammers come into play. All of these people that get up on camera and tell you that they got the solutions to your problems. And only if you just follow me and listen to me, I'm going to solve all your problems. I'm going to lead you here and there. And they all what they want to do is they line their pockets. You know how many scammers that's gotten arrested, how many hustlers and pimps that's been arrested and thrown in jail, and all fraudsters. A great YouTube channel to watch is Pocket Watching with JT, because what he does is he exposes all of these scammers. But you better be careful out there, because see, they're out there and they're gonna pick your bones dry, because this is how they do their livelihood. This is how they survive. They survive on the backs of poor, vulnerable, desperate people. You don't want to be one of them people. You don't want to be one of them people. And this is why I say you can't trust what these people are saying. Let's listen to Trump, because see, I'll tell you, I'm a political atheist. I don't believe in Democrats or Republicans, because you know what? When you serve Yah, you ain't got no other. You're not looking at this Gentile pagan heathen system for solutions. And this is why I'm a political atheist. This is why I'm against all of them. And I'm about being self-sufficient and set apart. And not only do I preach it and I talk it, but I live it. And it can be confirmed through the mannerism of my lifestyle. But let's go ahead and listen to this pig and this dog Trump lie to the American people. Do you remember this statement right here? Well, I'm going to show. Do you remember this statement right here? Okay. And his this was again 8 years ago when he was running against Hillary Clinton, which he said he was going to lock up. But let's listen to what he said.
To make the contributions we should be making to rebuild the middle class. I don't think top down works in America. I think building the middle class, investing in the middle class, making college debt free so more young people can get their education, helping people refinance their debt.
Sounds real good, right? Don't they sound real good when they're running for office and they telling you what they want to hear? And then when they get in the office, it's screw you.
From college at a lower rate. Those are the kinds of things that will really boost the economy. Broad-based, inclusive growth is what we need in America, not more advantages for people at the...
From two people that are very top. Now, you got to understand, These two people right here, they buddies, peas, and pals. You see, they go on yacht trips together, and they cool. But they get up on camera and they present to you like they're rivals when they're two sides of the same coin.
Mr. Trump,
Typical politician, all talk, no action.
And people believe this man. This was 8 years ago.
Sounds good, doesn't work, never going to happen. Our country is suffering because people like Secretary Clinton.
People like President Trump now is suffering because of people, dogs, and lies. You people, you got to watch what people say and then watch what they do. Because, see, what people don't want to see happen today is they don't want to be held accountable for the things that they've said. They want to switch it up, change it up whenever it suits them. And that's exactly what he's done.
Have made such bad decisions in terms of our jobs and in terms of what's going on. Now, look, we have the worst revival of an economy since the Great Depression. And believe me, we're in a bubble right now. Thing that looks good is the stock market, but if you raise interest rates even a little bit, that's going to come crashing down. We are in a big, fat, ugly bubble, and we better be awfully careful. And we have a Fed that's doing political things. This Janet Yellen of the Fed is doing political by keeping the interest rates at this level. And believe me, the day Obama goes off and he leaves and he goes out to the golf course for the rest of his life to play golf, when they raise interest rates, you're going
and this guy lives on a golf course.
to see some very bad things happen because the Fed is not doing their job. The Fed is being more political than Secretary Clinton.
Remember this liar, this dog, this pig? I mean, he gets up and they, you know, it's amazing how they get up and they lie with a straight face. That's what they do. They get up and they lie with a straight face. But let me tell you who he's in bed with. Because it's one thing to tell you, but it's another thing to show you visually who these people serve. Let me tell you who these people serve. Oh, well, I'm going to show it for you, okay?
Jews have now founded the Mystery Babylon system. The same men, the same system. They were responsible for the French Revolution and the Order of the Illuminati in its founding. Now they control the United States behind the scenes. I believe there has been basically a coup d'etat in America. They control Russia, and they control almost every nation on.
I've been telling you people, everything that you see is a stage playing. It's all lies. See, Russia. You think Russia and Iran and China and America and this and that and the third, they all work? No, they all working together. They're working together to enslave the actual people that's under them. You think Iran? See, I saw a couple of clips where Trump turned around and said, well, you know, Iran called us up and they said that, you know, we're going to have to, you know, bomb you. Or we're going to have to bomb some sites and we're going to have to send some missiles so we can show to our people that we're tough. And they gave them like, you know, 3-5 days notice to clear out the area so Iran could make themselves look good to their people. All of this stuff is nothing but a dog and pony show.
Earth. Here's some.
The bankers run these companies, these countries.
Look
at the Bush.
Austin American statesman. Talks about George W. Bush going over to Israel. And where is he? At the Wailing Wall on the Temple Mount. And what is on his head? The Jewish yarmulke. Did you know he's a member of the Skull and Bones Society? And the Skull and Bones Society, when they're initiated at Yale University, they declare themselves to be Jews. And they say, we oppose all the Gentiles of the world. Look at some of these pictures of powerful American senators, presidents.
There you go. You see that right there? Huh? These people are not for you.
And so forth.
Yeah.
Meeting with the head of the Lubavitcher cult of Judaism. Of course, the founder of communism was Karl Marx, a Jew.
also a high priest of the Church of Satan. Hey, in Soviet Russia, it was the Jews that founded, the Illuministic Jews who founded Soviet communism. Don't think they were just communists. They weren't even Russians. Most of them, they were Jews, and some of them were from the United States. The Jewish Illuminati, who were underground but had billions of wealth, now are the masters of the Russian Empire. These
people, they're running the show. See, Trump, all of these people, they're beholden to these people. They don't care nothing about you. They don't care nothing about you. And I've been saying this over and over and over and over and over again. For years, I've been saying this. This is why I don't trust none of these pigs and these dogs. Check this out. Now, we on the healthcare. What's happening with healthcare? All of these people are going to be cut off so that billionaires can get free, continue to get free handouts. You know the biggest welfare recipients in this country? It's not poor black people. It's not poor white people. It's billionaire corporations like Lockheed Martin and these devils. You see? But this is what they do.
Irma has.
I make $800 a month. Oh, that will kill me. That would kill my friends. That would kill millions of people in this country if they lose their health care.
We're in California's District 22, a rural community in the state's Central Valley. This district voted for Trump for the first time in 2024, but now his policies threaten one of the benefits people here rely on the most. Do you know anyone personally who voted for President Trump but depends on benefits like Medicaid?
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people.
One resident who would be impacted by Medicaid cuts is 64-year-old Irma Arredondo, who voted for Trump in 2024. Irma has several chronic health issues, including type 1 diabetes. She's also a full-time caregiver for her daughter, who has cerebral palsy, and her sister.
You got to understand, a lot of these people, they believed in the system. They believe, because I believe that health is wealth and that you should take your health in your own hands. But these people believed in him. They believed in these lies, and now they're going to suffer the consequences. Now, again, the solution wasn't Kamala Harris either. The solution is coming out of her, being separate and being self-sufficient and interdependent on other people of like mind and precious faith.
Sister, who has Turner syndrome.
The medicine that my
Not dependent, interdependent.
daughter took for seizures, I won't be able to afford it. So we feel hopeless if those cuts come, what we're going to do.
Irma was a farm worker for more than a decade. She believes that some of her and her children's health issues can be linked to the pesticides she was exposed to while working in the fields.
Look at me right now. Look at me, how many sicknesses that I have. We got all in the fields. Where else?
And people are eating this stuff, and you think, and then deporting all of these people that are willing to get out there and get all of these cancers and all these sicknesses so that they can take all of this poison salad and collard greens and everything, put it in. I tell you, man, this system is just totally against you.
I feel like this stabbing us in the back, But why? Why when we put food on their tables? Trump promised a lot of things. I thought it would be more family values and those programs that really need here.
One of those promises was to protect Medicaid, which 67% of people in this district rely on. It's the largest percentage of any district in the entire country.
Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, we're not going to touch it.
The yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
This bill represents the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. It will devastate vulnerable populations.
The largest tax break, though, to the wealthiest individuals. Are those your values?
No, that's not right.
Hey, now guess who's responsible? You get hurt, you get You get sick. Who you think is responsible for that? Who you think gonna pick up that? You on the hook, baby, huh? You better make sure that you're not putting yourself in any situations as to where you're compromised and that you get hurt or you get sick or something like this because nobody's coming to save you. But you're gonna pay your taxes though.
Irma isn't the only one in District 22 who feels betrayed by the administration's plan to gut Medicaid.
The only people they're hurting are the poor people, people that really need the stuff. Elon Musk doesn't need it, Trump doesn't need it, and billionaires don't need it.
They're making out big time with this, but they're hurting people in the process.
If we could go back to November.
See, once they get in the positions of power and they've accumulated all their wealth, you know what they're saying now? Screw you.
Who would you vote for now, seeing what you see?
Neither one. Neither one.
Good.
None either.
My medication, it runs $20,000 a month without insurance. I make $800 a month. Oh, that will kill me. That would kill my friends. That would kill millions of people.
I tell you, man, I mean, it's just happening more and more again. And this is the beginning. This is the beginning. I'm telling you, man, these people ain't playing. They are not playing at all. It is one of the most sickest things that I have ever seen. But hey, when you're dependent on somebody else for your livelihood, this is what you get. This is exactly what you get when you depend and you believe in liars, people that are confirmed liars. What did the scripture say? All liars will partake in the lake. But this is what's going on. You got these people that get up and they lie, and people don't hold them accountable for their lies. It's sad. And what are these people gonna do? What are these people gonna do? A lot of people, they better start digging their own graves because no one is coming to save them. No one is coming to solve their problems. And the only person that's responsible for solving their problems is you. No one else is going to pick up the slack or deal anything in terms of providing any solutions for you on this other article that I saw. Because, see, Las Vegas is a bellwether for what's taking place in the economy as a whole. Have you noticed that travel has gone down? All these travel restrictions and I've been seeing videos of airports like Atlanta and DC and Chicago. Traffic is way down. Why? Because people are broke. They're broke, and they don't have money to do anything like this anymore. But let's go.
It reads Las Vegas faces a crisis with the rising casino dealer offs as declining tourism and automation redefining the industry. A really critical headline from two aspects. Of course, the decline of tourism, we all know about that. I'll show you new, fresh data about it and where it's stemming from for the most part. But the automation part of this headline is something that folks are not talking about as much as they should. A lot of jobs, thousands of jobs in Las Vegas are casino dealers. And the trend that we see right now is efforts to replace dealers with AI. You sit on a table, AI is going to deal the cards for you. No need for dealers anymore. And what do you think AI is going to do? Is going to be just a fair dealer, or they're going to cheat the cards?
Take this one and stick it up your sister's ass.
That's what's going on with the economy is at all, huh? They're gonna screw you just like AI is gonna screw. Cause see, I'm not a bettor. I don't gamble. I don't see. I'm the kind of person that I like to bet on sure things. Like I'll give you a perfect example, right? If there's a 10% probability that my family would be homeless as a direct result of any kind of situation, I wouldn't take that chance. There's not a 5% chance. There's not a 2% chance that I would take uh, to put myself in a situation where my family would be homeless. I wouldn't even take a 1% chance. I wouldn't take that chance. I wouldn't do it. Just like I wouldn't take a chance knowing what I know to put myself in a situation as to where I'm dependent on a job.
The most important aspect of all of this is we're going to lose a lot of jobs as we begin to see more automation, more AI deployment in the Las Vegas leisure, hospitality, and gaming industry. We are already seeing negative trends in Las Vegas employment. Why is this important? Because a lot of you would say, Mav, we've been hearing about all of these warnings for a couple.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at these numbers. Look at these numbers. It's a bloodbath out there.
Years now, nothing happened. Recession is not happening. What's new? Here's what's new. Yesterday, we talked in the video, in the macro discussion, we talked about what's new. Here's what's new when it comes to the Las Vegas indicator. What you're looking at right now is the BLS data. You can see in the red line, that's the employment change year on year in Las Vegas. The dotted line in black is the change in employment year on year nationally. And what you've been seeing before is the change in employment has been positive. There was a gap where Las Vegas led the national economy. So long as that is the case, it is a healthy sign for the economy. But the moment you see Las Vegas Metro, the change in employment beginning to lag the national economy, it is leading the national economy to say, watch out, there's a huge warning sign here. Something is falling apart, either from tourism or housing or even corporate conventions. All of these are great leading indicators for the national economy. And this serves as a leading indicator and a warning for the national economy. Watch out. We're about to begin to see negative changes in employment in the national economy. We have an important jobs data coming out Thursday. And this, as a leading indicator, doesn't bode pretty good for that rating. And this problem is going to be exacerbated. The decline in tourism is just not going to impact casino dealers, jobs in the Strip, but it's going to begin to impact businesses too. The entire Las Vegas economy revolves around tourism. And if we begin,
I remember, in corporate America, especially if you're working for a nice sized corporation, they used to throw holiday parties. So you have your Christmas party, and they used to rent out the Marriott. They used to rent out the Hyatt or the Waldorf Astoria. So during the holiday season, you'd have all these hotels and you have all these Christmas parties going on in these convention centers, on 42nd Street. And there was a time where what I used to do was, I used to go to these Christmas parties because, you just have on a suit. And I used to just crash these Christmas parties, you know what I'm saying? They have food and drinks or whatever, and people are just walking in and out of the office, you know what I'm saying, these places. And I used to go and take dates on these Christmas parties. That is gone no more. They don't do that anymore. So, you know what I'm saying? Before, again, I don't know if anybody's ever been to a corporate company Christmas party, you know what I'm saying? And they rented out a hotel, and you went in there and they had, it was a Christmas party, you know what I'm saying? And they rented out. The corporations don't do that anymore. Don't do that anymore. I used to remember on 42nd Street, you know what I'm saying, 48 and Lex or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Crashing Christmas parties for companies that I didn't even, I wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? But you got your suit tie on, and you go in and you have a good time and have some drinks or whatever, and take a date there. It was fun, but they don't do that anymore because, hey, they're not spending this money anymore.
in the see bad signs here, then what does that say about New York and LA and Florida? Here's a local report showing you the impact of the decline in tourism on local businesses here in Las Vegas. Take a look.
Tourism gaming numbers, they continue to go the wrong way as we head into the summer. New data from the LVCVA shows that tourism is down more than 6% compared to this time last year. The airport also recording its fourth straight month of declines. Overall travel down nearly 4%. Las Vegas Strip also seeing a 4% decline in the gaming win in May compared to a year ago. So we are taking a closer look at these numbers and seeing how it's impacting small businesses near the Strip. Yeah, Will Silverstein joins us from Paradise Road, where he's been talking with one business owner who says he is struggling this summer. And Will, as far as economic barometers go, I guess we could call this the pizza index.
Yes, that's exactly what you can call this. Christopher Palmieri, he's a successful guy. He's been on Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives on a couple of occasions in the past, and he's very popular with the locals. So why is he struggling right now? It's because of a lack of tourists that are buying pizza from him. And a financial analyst that we spoke to says his case is not particularly unusual.
I think everyone's been expecting some degree of settling. We're certainly seeing it this summer.
Jeremy Aguero from Applied Analysis is indicating the post-COVID tourism boom in Las Vegas may be coming to a close.
We've made great efforts relative to economic diversification, but we're still more dependent on travel and tourism than any other major market in the United States.
The numbers for tourism dropping across the board. New data from the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority sees a 6.5% drop in tourism from May 2024 to May 2025.
I'm telling you, it's bad out there. It's bad. People ain't got the money. People ain't got money to give. People ain't got money to travel. It's sad. And people who do got the money, they're protecting their pockets. They're not going to be saying, people, all this charity is going through it's gone. It's gone. People ain't got the money to give and do for people anymore like they used to. People are not going to be as benevolent as they used to when it comes to what's going on in this country. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we have. And when you're dependent on liars, when you're dependent on thieves, and I'm going to show you something else, because just getting back to this Elon Musk stuff. And because when he turned around and he said that the reason why Donald Trump does not want to open up the Epstein files is because he's in it. This is what he said. And I'm telling you, they know what's going on. He knew from the beginning what was going on. You see, these people know the dirty laundry of what's going on with these people. They know exactly what's going on. It's not no mystery. He always knew this. Look at this. Look at this. Check this out.
Still ramping up between President Trump and Elon Musk, the two of them going back and forth. President Trump making some statements earlier today from the Oval Office, stating that Elon Musk is upset and he isn't.
What happened? There was Ace Boone Coon. They were standing in the White House together, and the child was there, and this, that, and the third. And you think these people don't know that they're dirty laundry? You didn't think that the richest, the quote unquote, the richest man in the world doesn't know of the dirt of the most powerful man in the world, but they get up and they stand in front of the camera and grandstand.
Sure exactly where the relationship stands, stating that Elon Musk was, quote, wearing thin in his social media post. Well, now, not surprisingly, Elon Musk now taking to X to even more thoughts. And I wanted to share the very latest as this continues to be a back and forth right here. The very latest comment from Elon Musk is time to drop the really big bomb. President Trump at real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. And earlier on in the Oval Office, President Trump foreshadowing perhaps these comments getting personal, because before President Trump did state that up until that point, when he made those previous comments, that Elon Musk did not speak about him negatively personally, but expecting that. And I wanted to share that with
you. Got to understand that these people, they're all immoral and vile people. Again, they're two sides of the same coin. Elon Musk's SpaceX gets billions of dollars in government subsidies from the United States government. And this man, they know what's going on with one another. And you don't think for one second that Epstein and that Trump was on the Epstein list, that he wasn't doing all of these immoral things? Because see, but this is the problem that we're having today. People follow personalities. People love personalities. And so what they do is they say, you know what? Because I like this individual, or because this person resonates with me, that we're gonna overlook this stuff. There's certain things that, I mean, I understand the scripture says, out of the mouth of two or more witnesses, let every word be established. One shall not rise up against another, but out of the mouth of two or more witnesses, let every word establish. I get that. I get that. But you have to understand something. When you have these people on camera together, taking pictures together, why don't you just release the files? If you have nothing to hide, why don't you just release the files to the American people and let them know what was going on? And the only reason why he doesn't release, see, this is when it comes to the deductive reasoning and logic. The reason why Trump is not going to release these files is because he knows he is on it. See, the idea is that if you just can use your brain, you can understand why is it that these people are not going to release these files, because he's on it, because he's complicit, because he was involved. Let's listen what this pig said today. I mean, these people are off the chain. Look at what he said today when he was asked about the Epstein, the files of not releasing it, because you know that they said they're not gonna. There's no files, there's no footage.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the stabbing?
Yeah, sure. If
Pam, could I just interrupt for 1
Sure.
second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things.
How dare you ask me questions? I'm the president of the United States. Who in the hell do you think you are asking me questions about Epstein when I was hugged up on him and taking pictures with him? How dare you? Who in the hell do you think you are? I'm the president of the United States. I'm answerable to no one.
And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
Your people's your boy that you was hugged up on.
Unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on that.
I can't believe you're asking this question. Who do you think you are?
Epstein, at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened.
What success? Well, what success? I don't get the 600,000. I think it was like since July, 600,000 Black women alone was laid off. Success. What are you talking about? Success. Thousands of people losing their jobs, inflation off the chain, and you're on the camera talking about success? These people are sick in their minds.
In Texas, it just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what.
Why don't you just release the information that's in time? See, people don't release information because they got something to hide. It's as simple as that. It's deductive reasoning and logic. It's nothing more, nothing less than that.
I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that.
Proven fact that he was an agent. Mossad. I mean, I'll tell you.
We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but
the video was not conclusive. A minute was missing. Why is it not conclusive? You're talking about he was in the prison, and you got recordings and you people get this? Are you getting this?
the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is.
And they get up on camera. And do you believe that? See, the idea is this. I always know when somebody's lying to me. I always know. I always know when somebody's lying to me. Because this is how they sound. They want to gloss over, and this is what they do. They play these mental gymnastics, and they don't want to deal with the facts at hand. But this woman is lying. You can tell her she's lying.
Reset, and every night.
It was reset every night from 1999, and it's 20. So they've been using the same cassette for the past 20 years, and they just reset it over. You got to be kidding me. And the American people believe this. See, the idea is that I'm at the point where people deserve exactly what they get. If you believe in lies, then you have to deal with the repercussions of believing in lies. And you deserve exactly what you get.
I should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that.
Well, I guess the same video. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's the same video. We're looking for the separate video and the same video, the same tape that was recorded from 1999, and they just re-recorded it again and again. But we're looking for a separate video of that minute that was released. And people believe this stuff. People believe this stuff. But when you can't question these people, when you can't question your elected officials, what you have is tyranny. That's what you have. That's exactly what you have when you can't question the people that you put in office, the people that they claim are there to serve you. You're in a tyrannical government. That's what you're dealing with, where these people are not held accountable to anyone. It was funny. I was listening to good old Geno Jennings talk about this, and I'll lead off this with this before I go on, because at the end of the day, I'm about solutions. I'm about solutions. So let's listen to what's going on with Trump, and let's see what his opinion is on this matter.
Want nobody to say anything against him. They don't want no news reporter, no congressman. They talking about arresting you if you speak against Trump. He's of the devil. I speak loud as I want. That's right. He's of the devil. Every president makes some good decisions. But when you haven't repented of your sins and been baptized in the name of Jesus Christ, hey, somebody wrote me, you mean to tell me you're going to liken ICE to the Nazis that round up the Jews? Yes. Oh, yeah. Do I look that dumb and think everybody that was Hispanic was a criminal? Right. Or do I look that stupid? That's right.
Family, we need to
listen to it again.
They don't want no news reporter, no congressman. They talking about arresting you if you speak against Trump.
Don't question me. Don't ask me no questions. Don't question what I do. I'm the president of the United States. Who do you think you are to question me? We're going to arrest your ass? Who do you think you are? I'm the president of the United States. You're here to serve me. I'm not here to serve you. I'm not here to answer your questions. Are you out of your damn mind?
He's of the devil.
He is of his father, the devil, and the lust of his father he will do. This man is satanic to the core. Fact.
I speak loud as I want. That's right. He's of the devil. Every president makes some good decision. But if you haven't repented of your sins and is baptized in the name of Jesus Christ, hey, somebody wrote me, you mean to tell me you're going to liken ICE to the Nazis that round up the Jews? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And this is why. Because, see, people don't know how to use deductive reasoning a lot. They don't know how to think for themselves. This is why. Again.
Oh, yeah. Do I look that dumb and think everybody that was Hispanic was a criminal? Right. Or do I look that stupid? That's right.
Family.
Many people out there, and I concluded on that, many people out there are stupid. They're just flat out stupid because they believe everything that these people tell them. And they don't know how to use self-autonomy. They don't know how to use their own due diligence and independent research to find out what things that people are saying and so. They receive personalities instead of doing their own due diligence and their own research. They don't want to do it to work. But so guess what? As a direct result of that, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer. So what are the solutions? Because see, when it comes to jobs, which, hey, there's no such thing as job security anymore. Housing, the cost of housing is going up. So let's deal with jobs. Well, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to learn real skills. You're going to have to learn how to develop a skill set. Now, it may not have to be carpentry. It could be anything, as long as it's not dependent on anybody else for your livelihood. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. As long as what you need to do is what people need to do is they need to figure out how to provide value to their community, providing a service that other people need, and provide that service professionally, economically, and provide value and service to your community. This is how you free yourself from the tyranny of this system. Because these jobs, I don't care what Trump says, these jobs are not coming back to the United States of America. No, they're not. I know what he said, but they're not. Because you got to understand the factory conditions of these people that work in these sweatshops in China, in India, and all of the pollution and all of the regulations and the environmental regulations that these people do not have to follow when it comes to uh, 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 wages, health care, all that. They don't have to follow that. And until the average American is willing to work for 5 cents an hour, those jobs ain't coming back. And until, because see, if American doesn't not interested in getting out and picking these fields and they picking these tomatoes and picking this stuff for all of these people that are getting deported, then what makes you think that they're gonna make an iPhone? Provide value to your community. Housing. You need to be putting yourself in a situation where you can own some land, own a house, to where even if you lost your job or whatever, you don't have to be worried about getting kicked out on the street. You don't have to worry about getting evicted. I did a live stream early because today, I've been doing a lot of work on the land. Um, and I've been picking up a little projects here and there, but for the over the past month, I haven't worked at all. I've been doing all my work, all the work on the land. Because it says, the saying goes, and it's true, that a carpenter is so busy working on everybody else's project, he ain't got no time to work on his own. But because I'm debt free and financially independent, I'm able to take off an exorbitant amount of time to finish up my own projects because I have all the materials, I have all the tools and stuff here. So I can go ahead and focus on doing my own projects. And so that's what I'm focusing on now. And I'll do a video. Do a beautiful kitchen remodel I've done. The most expensive room that you can do in a remodel that you can do inside of a home is a kitchen. And I just now finished my kitchen remodel. The children's room is done. The living room is done. The den is done. Bathrooms. I fixed it up. And it's all paid for. And there is a 0% probability that I'll ever be homeless, evicted, or kicked off my own land. 0% probability. You know why? Because I own it and it's paid for. And I never have to worry about a landlord or somebody coming and telling me that I'll be homeless. Never have to worry about that. And could you imagine paying for you took out a 30-year mortgage and you just had 5 years to pay that mortgage off and you didn't pay it off and you got kicked out on the street. Now your wife and your children and you're homeless. And what are you gonna do now? And who's benevolent enough to take you in this day and age? You see? But if you own, then you don't have to worry about that. See, now you have housing security, healthcare, and food. All of these government programs that folks have been relying on, they're getting cut. They're getting cut. And now you're in a situation where who's going to take care of the responsibility if you get hurt, if you break a leg, or if you befall a sickness or disease? Who's benevolent enough to pay those expenses for you? No one. No one. That's the situation that you're in. So you're going to have to make sure that you're taking care of your health very seriously, and making sure that you're doing everything that you can. Don't go skydiving. Don't do anything or put yourself in any kind of situation as to where you can put yourself in a situation where you can get hurt, because see, nobody else is going to pay that bill. Medicaid and Medicare, all that stuff is gone. Inflation. How do you deal with that? You're going to be making sure that you're not doing a whole bunch of frivolous spending, and that your expenses are going down, and that your income is going up. It's a powerful thing to, and this is no lie, to be able to make $10,000 in a month, and your monthly expenses is $400, $500, $600 a month. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine? There's very few people that I know that are in such a situation where they can go out in the world, make $10,000, and their monthly expenses is $500, $600 a month. You got to be wise. But this is what real skills and a real ability to go out there and provide value to the community. This is what you can do when you are in a situation where your land is paid for and you ain't got to worry about it. Hey, if you own land and you got land, you got to more pay it off as quickly as possible. Make sure it's paid off as quickly as possible, because hey, this is why it's so important to have an emergency fund to make sure that, in the event that something happens to you, hey, if I had to take 6 months off and I had to sit on my ass, I could do that because I ain't got to worry about it, because I got an emergency fund. I have 6 months worth of expenses put back. The last time I had an emergency, whatever, car broke down, it cost me $2,500. I was traveling to another community out in Arkansas and bringing some material, and I had my 16-foot trailer and broke down. It turned out that my my fuel pump went out. My fuel pump went out in my truck. So of course I had to stop, and this was during COVID. Stop, get the fuel, pump, stay in a hotel for a couple of days, the toll, all that stuff costs around about $2,500. An emergency today will destroy somebody. They say that, hey, people 1 or 2 paychecks away from the streets today. Put yourself in a situation as to where you do not have to depend on anybody for your livelihood. Take care of your health. Get out of debt. Make sure you have an emergency fund. Make sure that you have house security, food security. Grow your own food. Learn how to hunt. See, I know how to see that bad boy right there. You see them bad boys right there? See, I know how to use them. I know how to use them to put food on my plate. See, I know how to raise animals. I know how to raise goats and sheep and chickens. I know how to do that. I'm self-sufficient, so I ain't got to never worry about my family being hungry. I never have to worry about my family. There's a 0% probability that I'll ever be homeless. The worst case scenario, if there was a natural disaster, guess what? It can't destroy the land. I can always pit some tents and have some firewood and have a little wood stove or whatever and camp right out on my land. And never have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, still hunting everything and never have to worry about being homeless. Because I'm not dependent on anybody else for my livelihood. Because we're seeing over and over again what's happening to people that are dependent on somebody else for food, clothing, and shelter. We're seeing the end result of it right now. Because, see, nobody else is responsible for housing your family. You're the only person that's responsible for that. You and you alone. And if you put that in the responsibility of their hands and the benevolence of a government, via their Section 8 or any kind of free housing, see, nothing ain't free. See, that's a misnomer. Nothing ain't free. Somebody paying for something. You gonna pay for something. Nobody's letting nobody live anywhere for free. You got to be stupid, dumb, and a prating fool to think that somebody's going to allow you to live somewhere for free. Who believes that? See, people believe in these lies that's being pushed, and that you fall victim to this stuff. And now, because you thought that you had food security, and you was dependent on Section 8, or you was dependent on SNAP, EDP, EBT. You thought that you had health security. You thought that you had housing security because you was dependent on these programs, these governments to provide for you. But guess what? And Trump is saying it loud and clear. Guess what? We're going to kick your ass off. Now what you going to do? Now what you going to do? Because you was dependent on somebody else for your livelihood. I understood and I saw the game many moons ago. I saw the game. I saw the hustle. I saw the scam. I saw the lies and the deceit. Sad, isn't it? But hey, for those who have the ears to hear to what I'm saying, you'll get it. For others, it's just gonna fly over your damn head. But hey, it is what it is. But I'm gonna take it down for the night. I'm gonna try and get on here a little bit more. I just been so busy with completing projects and getting things done, because now it's just time to, the spirit is on me. The time is just to get things done here on the land, and just preparing for this economic judgment that's taking place and befalling people in this country and in this land. And it's sad. It's sad to see people, the homelessness. We have a homeless crisis in this country. We have a food insecurity crisis in this country. We have a jobless crisis in this country, and it's just gonna get worse. It was prophesied. It ain't getting any better. I am not a pessimist. I'm a realist. Um, because for a wise man foreseeth the evil, and you know what he does? He prepares his house. But if you're depending on somebody else for your livelihood, then you ain't got no damn house. And then, what does the scripture say about this? If a man doesn't provide for himself and his family, he's an infidel, and he is denied the faith. And it's unfortunate we got too many infidels running around in this country today. And they're going to deal with the repercussions, and they are dealing with the repercussions. There's nothing that you're going to do to save from somebody. From the one thing I'm realizing, somebody again and again and again, you cannot save a person from themselves. All you can do is just sit back, and prepare your house and making sure that you're in a living example for what people need to do uh, to survive themselves from all this damn tyranny, oppression, lies, deceit, and treachery and betrayal that's taking place in this country today. Hey, you done heard the truth. It's the covenant. Shalom.